Russia's entire airborne early warning capability now rests on about 5 aircraft, of which 4 can fly. That is not a headline number pulled from an analyst's estimate. It is arithmetic on figures Russian sources have themselves conceded, and in this file I want to show you the subtraction, show you where 2 respected outlets quietly disagree about it, and then show you the thing almost every write-up of this subject has missed. Open source fleet counts fail in a predictable way. They collapse 4 separate questions into one headline figure. An aircraft can exist and be unrepaired. It can be repaired and not fly. It can fly and not be mission capable, because mission capable means the radar, the data links, the mission crew, and the engines are all serviceable on the same morning. A fleet can contain 7 identifiable airframes and still generate 4 sorties. So the useful sentence is never how many Russia owns. It is how many can fly today. Here is where 5 comes from. The Russian aerospace forces received 8 upgraded A-50U aircraft. Russian sources acknowledge at least 3 are gone. Red 41 damaged in a drone attack at Machulishi in Belarus in February 2023 and never returned to service. Red 37 shot down over the Sea of Azov in January 2024, a US-24. Army officer later publicly confirmed a Patriot battery made that shot. And Red 42 destroyed over the Krasnodar region 5 weeks later. 8 minus 3 is 5. Now the part that ought to be in every account of this and is in almost none. 2 outlets, both careful, both cited in the dossier this file was commissioned from, both say 3 losses. And between them they named 4 different events. Defense express counts Machulishi, Azov, and Krasnodar. The aviationist counts Azov, Krasnodar, and Operation Spiderweb in June 25. Neither is being careless. Defense Express is counting aircraft. Russian sources concede are out of service. The aviationist is counting aircraft destroyed by Ukraine. Machulishi was damage, not destruction. Spiderweb's A-50 damage was never independently confirmed, the way the bomber losses were. The honest consequence is that 5 is the middle of a range, not a count. The aviationist puts the envelope at 5 to 7. Everything about this fleet runs through one place. The Beriev works at Taganrog is where the A-50 was built, where the A-50U upgrade is performed, where a damaged airframe has to go to be returned to flight, and where the replacement aircraft was being developed. One plant. Hold that thought because it becomes the whole story in about 2 minutes. Between the 4th of June and the 2nd of August this year, the Ukrainian open source project Cyberbaroshno tracked what these aircraft were doing. A repaired airframe, Red 47, came back into service in the first 3 weeks of June. On the 23rd one, aircraft began patrolling over Russia's own interior. Then on the 4th of July, a Ukrainian missile strike, and immediately afterwards the aircraft moved away from their usual fields at Ivanovo and Ulyanovsk, out to Bolshoy Savino, near Perm, to Orenburg to Chelyabinsk. 1,000 kilometers and more further from Ukraine. And on the 7th of July, Russia put 4 A-50Us in the air at the same time, on a fleet of 4 flyable aircraft that is not a posture, that is everything at once, with nothing held back for maintenance or crew rest or tomorrow. The dossier I was given explains all of this as a response to Ukrainian deep strikes and long-range cruise missiles. Generic threat, generic response. The Ukrainian reporting is specific, and the specificity is the story. Kyiv links this surge to one weapon, the FP-5 Flamingo, a long-range cruise missile built by the Ukrainian firm Firepoint. On the 2nd of August, by the Ukrainian account, Russian forces intercepted 6 of 6 Flamingos launched from the Kharkiv region, downed over Belgorod, Voronezh, Lipetsk, and Penza, with an A-50U providing the track. That 6 for 6 is a Russian claim relayed through Ukrainian monitoring, and I am not going to treat it as established. What it does establish is the shape of the problem. A missile that reaches the Urals makes airborne radar the difference between seeing an inbound at range and seeing it overhead. And Russia has 4 aircraft that can provide it. And here's the finding that changed this file. The dossier says the A-100 Premier, Russia's intended replacement, has not visibly entered serial production at a scale that could replace wartime losses. That sentence is true, and it describes a schedule problem. It is not a schedule problem. On the night of the 25th of November 2025, Ukrainian drones struck the Beriev plant at Taganrog and destroyed the A-100L, the flying laboratory that served as the test platform for every single A-100 system. Alongside it, the A-60 airborne laser testbed. Russia confirmed both. Satellite imagery corroborated it. Destroying a prototype delays a program. Destroying the only testbed removes the means of finishing it. Put the dates together and you get a closed pipeline. November, the testbed. Then in March this year, on 2 consecutive nights, Ukrainian drones hit Aviastar at Ulyanovsk, which builds the Il-76 airframe the A-100 is based on, and then the 123rd Aircraft Repair Plant at Staraya Russa, where hangars were struck and, according to Ukrainian intelligence, an A-50 on site for maintenance was damaged. That last one is a Ukrainian claim whose extent has not been publicly established, so I am not counting that aircraft as lost. And underneath all of it, Beriev, the single enterprise this entire capability depends on, reported a loss of around $65 million, with revenue down 3.8-fold in a single year. A specialized manufacturer losing 3/4 of its revenue does not absorb the loss of a testbed and carry on. So what is left? 4 options, and not one of them is recapitalisation. Return damaged airframes to service. That demonstrably works. Red 47 came back in June, and it is slow, single-sourced, and now runs through repair plants that are themselves targets. Extend the service life of a design whose base airframe dates to the 1970s. Reduce exposure by flying further from Ukrainian air defenses and dispersing the basing, including per-Ukrainian monitoring, to civilian airports. Or substitute ground raiders, fighters, and surface-to-air missiles, none of which can see past the horizon, which is the entire reason the aircraft exists. Option 3 is the one Russia has visibly chosen, and it carries the campaign's central irony. The further the aircraft flies from the threat it can survive, the worse it performs against the threat it was surged to meet. The full file is at 5airframes.nocurl.com. It has the arithmetic, both loss ledgers side by side, the replacement program in detail, and a page setting out the 4 things the commissioning dossier left out, including 4 Boeing performance figures I could not verify and therefore would not print. Every photograph is public domain or openly licensed and credited. Where I could not verify something, I have said so.